Hello and welcome to the fourth, or what I think is the fourth, of our Bromcat Hints and Tips videos. In this video we're going to be looking at the word and, which is a fairly simple word in the English language, but in the catalogue it can be slightly confusing, but also very helpful if you want to try and search for more than one thing at once. So let's get started with the most simple thing we can do. So if you're looking for two different search terms, for example, you want to know about the history of Ireland. So instead of typing history of Ireland, you can type history and Ireland, which brings up all search results that include the words history and Ireland in them. So they might be in the keywords, it might be in the title, but it will give you a really broad search of those two terms. So let's type those in. History and Ireland. Search. Now we're searching all media at the moment. So here we've got both fiction and non-fiction that has something to do with history and Ireland. So it's kind of the broadest search that you can do for two things, and you'll get a lot of results doing this, as you can see. Now you can narrow things down a bit depending on whether you're looking for fiction or non-fiction. So if you're looking for fiction, you can type history and Ireland and fiction quite simply there, and you can search again, and this will pull up everything that is fiction about history and Ireland. So you can see here we've got slightly fewer results, and you can browse through there as well quite easily. And we can do the same thing for non-fiction. Non-fiction is a bit trickier because of the term you have to use. So instead of using and non-fiction, the catalogue wants you to use and not fiction. So imagine you're sort of eliminating fiction, so you're not calling it non-fiction, you're eliminating fiction, and therefore you'll get results for non-fiction. So we want history and Ireland and not fiction. So let's search again. So now we've got everything about history and Ireland and not fiction, fewer search results again, and you can have a look and browse through there. So you can get quite meta with this, and you can keep going ad infinitum if you want to. So we can do history and Ireland, and maybe let's try famine, because I know we'll have something about that. History and Ireland and famine and not fiction. It's easy to miss out an and when you're doing this. We search here. You can see we've got some results about the Irish famine in non-fiction. Now if you want to see if we've got any fiction about history and Ireland and famine, you can do that by getting rid of the word not and just having and fiction. So we can search there. And we do actually have a book that is about the Irish famine that's fiction. So there you go. You can get even more meta with this if you want to. So one of the ones I did earlier when I was playing about was history and England and Tudor, I think it was, and Elizabeth and fiction. So let's try that. Maybe try Tudors. So there we go. So you can kind of keep going, adding and something to specify even further what you want to look at. So we do actually have a novel about, I'm guessing, a fictionalised life of Elizabeth I. So, and if you want to look at non-fiction, you'll type not fiction in there, search again, and that should bring up all non-fiction that we have about history and England and Tudors and Elizabeth. So there we go, predictably we've got a few results coming up. there. So another thing that you can do is use an asterisk to mean everything, essentially. I think we've done this before, maybe in the last video. So if you're looking for non-fiction and you want to see all the non-fiction that we have in the library, maybe you're interested in how many non-fiction books we have, we can have a look here. So the asterisk essentially means everything. So if you're looking for everything and not fiction, you're searching at the same time for everything that we have in the library and you're refining it as not fiction. So it should bring up all the non-fiction that we have in the library. So let's have a look. And that does. So we've got 31,161 results for not fiction in the library. So this will include books, but it'll also include local history pamphlets. It might include press cuttings as well. So anything classified as not fiction will come up here, which is why we've got so many results. We don't have that many non-fiction books, but it'll include other things as well. So the last thing I want to show you is if we're looking for and not fiction and we're looking at media type. Say for example you're looking for an audiobook, but you want to search all audiobooks that are non-fiction, you can do that as well. So if we go into here and we look for audiobook CD, search, sometimes it just boots you off. Sometimes you have to be a bit persistent. So if we go on audiobook CD again and search again, hopefully it won't boot me off. There we go. So we've got all audiobooks that are non-fiction coming up here. So you can browse through those as well. So that was a quick guide to the AND function on the catalogue and also a bit about asterisks. I hope that was helpful. Thank you very much for watching and we'll see you again next time.